So, Donovan, it's a new year.
Yeah.
You start.
Yeah.
Let's say someone wants to get into content creation, right?
Yeah.
How should they start on YouTube at least?
Oh, wow.
You would say.
Oh, my God. Where do I
Thumbnails,
Oh, boy.
content. How should they start?
I would suggest because, boy, so the first mistake I think that most new content creators make is they get a little too ambitious at the start. We all want 1 million subscribers. We all want views, blah, 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 blah. But I think one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of fledgling, beginning content creators make is that they do too much too soon. They're like, all right, I'm going to go live 5 days a week and da-da-da-da. Now, if you can do that, that's fine. But if there's any doubt as to how much you can do and how long, I would suggest start off doing it once a week. Do that for a month,
Good point.
and then after a month, maybe do it twice. Like, let's say for month 1, you do it every Monday. Then month 2, you do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Month 3, maybe you do Monday through Friday. But the point is that you have to start slow. And I would suggest that you record like up to 10 videos of whatever your content is. That way you have like a backlog, right? So, because I'm sure you guys have probably experienced this to some degree. A lot of content creators hit the wall very, very early. And the reason why they hit the wall is because they get out and they're going full throttle and they get burned out, and then they're here today, gone tomorrow. But I think as long as you pace yourself, as long as you know what you're doing and you pace yourself, I think you're all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
So, in this case, for example, let's say I'm going to start today for YouTube for, let's say, I want to be a creator for dating, right?
Okay.
Let's say our lane.
Okay. Yeah.
Should I start with dating, showing receipts? Or should I start with actually like giving information and data on dating itself?
Information and data first. You really have to show that you know what you're talking about. Because one thing about the audience here is they're not stupid, right? We've seen a lot of guys come into the manosphere calling themselves Red Pill and I'm a dating expert, dating guru. Like our guys, like I think we have one of the most educated audiences on the internet. I think it's not easy to be in this space for sure. But if you don't know what you're talking about, you will get flushed out very, very quickly. And it's interesting. I would actually submit to you guys that the audience maybe 5 years ago collectively probably knows a lot less than the audience now, because there's a lot more information out there. Anytime someone tunes into your show, my show for the first time, they're a lot more educated. Like they know a lot more than they used to. And so if you don't know what you're talking about, and I guess receipts would be a good way to start, but anybody can make up receipts, right? I mean, if being a dating expert just required receipts, then everybody would do it. No, you have to be able to explain things in a way that people can understand. And in content creation, you have to be educational and you have to be entertaining. If you're educational, you're not going to get anywhere. If you're entertaining, you'll certainly get somewhere. But if you're entertaining and educational, I think that's the mix, and that's what you guys do.
It's a good
Appreciate
point.
that, man. Yeah, no, it's especially nowadays where you're gonna like streaming is a new thing now where like being a moron will get you way more views than being, educational, right?
Yeah.
Like if you look at like the top streamers, every single one of them is kind of more on the entertainment side versus the education side. So, especially if you want a younger audience, right? You're going to have to be, you look at people that watch like Kai Cenat, FaZe, or any of this other stuff. It's a lot of that moronic,
hijinks,
self-degradation, self-deprecating content, right? It's not really educational to any degree, but if you want to bring in the people, you have to do that. So it's kind of like where you have to kind of almost have a blend of like the Jerry Springer ridiculousness, but at the same time, you have to be able to teach people stuff, because what I've noticed is that people really fuck with you when you help them like change their life. It's one thing if you're entertaining, but it's nothing if like you keep them from making a really bad decision or you help them make some money or whatever, then they really stay low and say, damn, like these guys helped me out with that. But you got to get the eyeballs in, because there's a lot of people out there that are really smart and good at what they do. Sure. But they're boring, and people don't want to watch them.
Right.
That's the thing.
I mean, you could be an adjunct professor. You could be a rocket scientist. If you can't be entertaining while you educate, you will not make it in this business. It's just like you said. You could know everything from A to Z. You can know how to explain. You can know how to teach. But if you don't have that entertainment element, then you're not going anywhere. And I agree with you. I think today's audience, their attention span is like this. If you can't capture the audience just like that, like right at the beginning, I don't think you have much of a chance. But I mean, listen, some people have broken through, but I know this is true. There's no such thing as a boring, successful content creator.
Also, the new meta now is to talk about other people, other creators to gain monetary gain. Yeah. Now, listen, I'm all for marketing and get yourself out there. But let's say I'm a beginning YouTuber. I don't want to get myself out there as a new channel, right? Should I do collaborations? Should I do marketing outside of YouTube? How should I market my channel to grow? You'd say
collaborations is the key. Get in front of new audiences. I was actually talking to MLD the other day, and he's like, you know what, man? He's like, I remember.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, like he is awesome, man. Probably one of the best mental guys in the space. But
Moneymaker.
Yeah, for sure. But he said, you know what, man? Like during the glory days when we were all making the most money, you know what we all had in common? I was like, what? He's like, we were all working together, you know? And you know, that's that. I mean, we all remember the Red Man Group and all that good stuff. That's when the community really sort of, you know, took a rise.
Yep.
But you know, like, there's a lot of infighting. And you know what? It's interesting. I thought, and I know that there's infighting in every industry, but there is literally infighting in every industry, the restaurant industry, the medical industry.
Yep.
It's in order to be, you just have to understand that with success in this business also comes failure. You have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for the slide. You got to be prepared for the adversity. Because I remember, like, when I first started out, 5,000 subscribers, all the comments are positive, right? And then I got my first negative comment, and I was, oh my God, I can't believe this dude said that. But then somebody else said, yeah, once you start getting haters, that means you're definitely, you know, that means you're definitely on the rise. So I think being mentally prepared to handle success as well as the, I don't want to say inevitable failure, but at some point you're going to reach critical mass. More people are going to know about you, so you're going to get more haters, more videos about you. But to go back to your point, I think the quickest way to grow is to do collaborations. That's the way we do it, that's the way we used to do it in the old days, and that formula still works.
Now, for you, as someone reaching out to you for a collaboration, how many videos should they have on their channel?
250.
Okay.
Yeah, 250 videos. Because if somebody reaches out to me for a collaboration and I see they've done 10 videos, and I know, I don't know, like I get it. I know they mean well, and they're trying.
Good point.
They're. I mean, they mean well, but I'm not going to collaborate with someone if I don't know that they know what they're talking about. And 10 videos is not a big enough sample size for me to judge whether or not I know what you're talking about. If you've done 250 videos over the course of, I don't know, a year, I know you're consistent. I know you're probably going to stay at it, and I know that you probably know what you're talking about. So I would say 250 videos is the minimum.
Good point.
Yeah.
Now, reaching out to other creators can be daunting for most people.
Sure.
Obviously, it's a new endeavor because they never had to before. How should they approach creators to not sound too needy, but still want to add some value and give and take?
I think you got to start small, and I would take the Myron Gaines approach. I remember this guy used to be in my chat, right? This guy used to be in my chat.
Yep.
And I remember he used to call into my show.
Yep.
And you have to add value. That's how MLD got started. We used to be on the Red Man Group, and MLD would call in. Before we knew it, MLD was on the Red Man Group. Again, you started out the same way, and of course, then we started, weights and dates, and the rest is history. But I would advise content creators to start small. No, you should not reach out to Fresh and Fit to do a collaboration. You need to reach out to Red Pill adjacent content creators with about your same or more subscriber base, more videos, and then just kind of work your way from there. I'm not saying don't swing for the fences, but by the same token, you have to be realistic.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, you also got to understand kind of where you stand, right? So, like, if you're like a small ass channel with like 1,000 subscribers, reaching out to someone that got 1 million and saying, "Yo, just put me on," like, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to work. No,
they're not going to put you on, like, unless they know you or something like that, like, or unless you have like some extraordinary like skill set that channel is actively looking for, where you can give commentary on the topic as a subject matter expert. 9 out of 10 times, they're not going to put you on. So you got to be able to add value in a way where it makes sense for them to do it.
And this is why I stress that you have to know what you're talking about, because when you reached out to me, you didn't even have a channel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have a channel, but I instantly know. I was like, okay, this guy, as a matter of fact, I had to tell you, hey, start a YouTube channel, man.
Yeah.
Like, you got to quit your, what do we call your underwater basket weaving or your
underwater basket weaving
underwater
job.
basket weaving
Back
job.
in the day.
It was actually that was years ago. It's amazing. It really is amazing how far you guys have come. But yeah, that's what, and you have to provide value. You can't just say, hey, how about I reach out to you.
Just put me on. I get so many DMs from randos on X or Instagram. It's like, bro, you're on an Anon account. What the fuck are you talking about? That's another thing too. I think that's really important for people to understand. Like, the days of like having an Anon account and blowing up and just giving like random commentary, like Sandman or whatever, like, I think those days are done.
Yeah, it's
like
over.
You can't do that shit anymore. It used to be you could get away with that.
Yeah, but people are more
2010 to 2017 to 2018 even, but like now that after the pandemic, right after COVID, and everyone like started using YouTube way more. Yeah. YouTube is basically turning into TV now.
Yes, it is literally TV.
You're competing with like damn near broadcast networks because they all have YouTube channels now. All the news channels are on YouTube. So it's
Yeah.
like, if you want to sit here and compete for market share where you're able to get attention from people, you need to be having stuff at the highest quality. And unfortunately, having a random faceless commentary channel, that would have worked maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But now,
Not anymore.
starting brand new, bruh, you unless you already had a channel, these like channels like the Blackie Speaks, all these other niggas that don't even show their face and they just
Right.
talk and
Oh,
yap.
yeah.
Bro, nobody's gonna give a fuck about y'all no more.
Also, how do you collab with that? I mean, for example,
Yeah, like, if I don't
let's
know
do a
what you
collab.
look like,
bro, I
yeah.
don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
I don't know, man.
That's why a lot of them showed their face. Like, what was it?
Now.
Based Zeus?
Now.
He came out and showed himself.
Jamari does now too.
Jamari showed his ugly ass face. So like these niggas, like they had to come out and like reveal themselves because they realized like, damn, like I can't just sit here and hide behind an avatar
No.
in the shadows and talk shit anymore. Like Jamari's bitch ass. He's been doing that shit for years, right? He should have stayed hidden, to be honest with you. He's a fucking weirdo. But the point is that whole, faceless commentary shit, it ain't
That
gonna
don't
work.
fly.
And then we got a lot of these dudes on Twitter as well that like have big platforms, but like nobody knows who they are. It's like, bruh, you already have a chip against you being on X. Like being on X and then trying to translate that over to YouTube is gonna be very fucking difficult for you. And then you're faceless, cooked.
Well,
Not
they
happening.
have a job and a family. They
Yeah.
want to protect. So obviously, I don't want to show my face because then I might get attacked.
But here's the thing. No, you're right. They actually might. So at some point, you got a choice to make. If you want to be successful in this game, there are certain things you're going to have to give up, and privacy is probably one of them.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you said, you can't be a faceless, content creator anymore. And I remember I collabed with one guy a long time ago. He says, "Listen, people trust you more if they know what you look like." And here's another tip for guys who want to be in the content creation game: you have to be able to adjust and adapt. Trees don't grow to the sky. You can't do the same kind of content forever and ever and ever and, continue to go up. You're going to have to make changes. You're going to have to make strategy changes. You're going to have to adjust and evolve.
Yeah.
You guys have done that plenty of times. And I've been a little slow to evolve. That's probably why I've fallen off a little bit. Being shadow banned and reporting all that doesn't help. But yeah, I mean, I'll take some accountability for, and of course I just made the move and everything. So there are many, many factors involved. But I think one thing that you need to be ready for is you have to be able to adjust. You have to have a curveball, in other words, if that makes sense.
That's a good point.
This shit is fucking hard, man.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like,
Because it looks easy on paper.
It does.
Oh,
Like,
just get it from a camera, film some content.
listen, look, it's like if you have a smartphone and opinion, you can. The only nigga I know that had nothing but a smartphone and opinion who grew up was Alpha Male Strategies, but he is the outlier. Other than that, and even he knew what the fuck he was talking about. But this, guys, and I'm not trying to discourage anyone from doing what you want to do, but just understand, I'm not going to use soft words. This is showing, no, this shit is fucking hard. And if you ain't built like that, you're not going to last long. So just understand, you might be interested in this, but you're going to have to understand that this is not for most people.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a content creator until they're a content creator.